Hello, and welcome back to That's Life. I'm Chase Majerus. Today we got Cherie Ueno in the house. We'll get to her in a second. We also got Greg. He's calling in remote as usual. Today we're talking about relationships because we were talking about some pretty factual things recently, and Greg and I were like, you know what's not factual? Relationships. Yeah, so we're going to do that today. It's going to be funny. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick look at the clip of the week from This Week Today. All right? So let's go over to that other host, that other guy, who's going to teach us a little bit about something else. In our first story for the week, TD Bank surveyed hundreds of millennials who are planning to buy a home this year and found that 75% were overwhelmed by the home buying experience and 25% pretended they knew what they were doing. Oh, that's so cute. Which, I can admit is very male characteristic. Babe, come on, I know what I'm doing here, all right? I want you to close your eyes for a second, all right? Picture what it's like to be a millennial for a sec, all right? It's 2007. Steve Jobs announced the first iPhone. Nancy Pelosi became the first female Speaker of the House. The Mitchell Report rocked the Major League Baseball world. The Departed won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And I was in middle school at a dance, presumably dancing to the song Crank That by Soulja Boy. And then the housing bubble burst. So it's no surprise that potentially millions of millennials are now grown up and would like to buy a home, but have stifled their own curiosity and questions about how to buy a home for over 10 years maybe. In conclusion to the survey by TD Bank, there's obviously a massive learning curve. 70% of those surveyed began the home search without even consulting a lender, and only 42% said they established a budget for their home purchase. Yikes. If lenders want to be successful with this demographic, you got to find a way to get in front of them before they even get to the beginning of the home buying process and help them feel comfortable with everything that goes on. So do you guys feel like you learned something? I did. I had to learn something just to write it. That's how it goes. Anyway, we got Cherie Ueno in the house. We got Greg. He's calling in. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Greg, welcome back.
Hello.
So today we're talking about relationships. Cherie, how do we know each other? How do you and I know each other?
I think you're my boyfriend. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Yes, Cherie and I are dating. She's my girlfriend, which we thought would be a really great idea to talk about relationships in front of all you guys out there. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And Greg's going to ask some questions, and we're going to ask some questions to Greg, because Greg, are you in a relationship or are you single?
Thankfully, single.
Before we get into all that, though, Cherie, how you doing?
I'm good.
How's your week going?
It's all right.
Yeah?
I'm not doing too much right now.
No,
I've never been on a podcast before, so this is the first.
This is her first podcast. She's been watching, which is cool. Mm-hmm. She always gives me notes every single week, which that feels good to be like, all right, for one, someone's watching and they're like, all right, Chase, you're doing this good. You could be doing this. Yeah, could be doing a little bit better. Greg, how you doing, man? How's Greggy?
Good.
Good?
Good. It's been busy, but since it's after the holidays and now it's February, it's real slow in the store, so it's starting to level out, so it's good.
Any Valentine's Day sales that I can take advantage of?
Valentine's Day, I don't believe so. Not in my store.
Wow. You guys must not celebrate love.
I'll send you something for Valentine's Day.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's do this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask some questions. All right. Cherie and I are gonna ask questions of Greg, and then Greg's gonna ask Cherie and I questions. And we have to answer those separately. We're gonna go back and forth on this one. We'll ask a question, and Greg will ask a question. All right? How's that? Does everyone sound good on that one?
Yeah.
We don't have to eat any weird food items for answering a question wrong. There's no wrong. Well, if there is a wrong answer, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, this is gonna be so funny. I think. I hope.
See.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. We'll ask Greg the first question.
Go for it.
Greg, how long have you been single?
Oh God. Without an actual serious relationship, it's been probably about almost 5 years.
How does it make you feel knowing that number? Saying it out loud.
I'm fine with it.
Fuck.
And, like, everybody who asks me, they're like, are you like looking for a girlfriend? Like, it's been a long time since you've been in a relationship. And I'm like, I'm not actively looking. Like, that's just not something that, like, I've been so focused on my career lately also, to be honest. And like, I've been moving around so much that like, that just wouldn't be a good idea in general. So like, I've just kind of just not even worried about it for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cherie and I came to visit you when you were in Laughlin, and since then you've already moved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. All right, now you ask us one.
How long have you guys been together?
It's been a year, and it'll be 7 months this month.
Yes, that.
It's a long time. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, it
No,
went
it
really,
doesn't.
really quick.
Isn't that really? Yeah, that is really weird. That's a good thing, though, I guess.
It feels like longer.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. Cherie's like, fuck. All right. So, Greg, I know you said that you're not currently thinking like about finding someone right now, but I'm sure over the past 5 years you haven't not been looking. What's the most difficult part about meeting a potential I'll keep it open-ended, partner, not the just for people.
The hardest part for me is that like early in life I had a couple girlfriends that were like amazing. And just because of like going to college from, you know, high school or like, you know, moving around and doing different things in life, it just like didn't work out. And so kind of comparing people to my ex-girlfriends that I really, really liked and had a really good relationship with, like that kind of it kind of cripples me a little bit in talking to other people, which that's kind of difficult. So like I can't be comparing people to other people that I've dated in the past. That's just something that like, I can't do that anymore.
So you're aware of that you're not supposed to be doing that.
Which is good. Like at least I'm aware of it, you know?
It's true.
And like sometimes I'll kind of, like if I meet somebody that I like and I'm like, well, they're not like exactly like, you know, whoever it was that I was dating at the time, like I'll kind of stop myself and be like, well, they're not that person. So like I can't kind of compare people like that anymore. So that's kind of difficult.
Sure, do you have, go ahead, keep going.
I mean, other than that, it's just like the starting to get to know somebody and investing so much time in somebody when it might not work out and you don't know if it's like a sure thing. I think that's also the difficulty of it because I don't have a lot of free time as it is.
Right. It feels like, shit, if this doesn't work out like kind of fast or at least long term, I feel like it's
I'm wasting a ton of time.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
And like it sucks to say that, but like sometimes it feels that way. So that's some of the difficulty that, you know, I've had.
Cherie, any follow-up?
I kind of agree to like the you're not sure if you should invest the time in someone because when I met you, I was dating someone else, so I wasn't sure like if it. I mean, let me preface this. It was a really bad relationship, okay? And then when I met Chase, like I wasn't sure if it was worth like breaking up with someone and like shifting my whole life to be with you. So for me, it was like a whole whirlwind of events. So
it would be a leap of faith, if you will.
yeah.
No, that's cool. Hell yeah. Thanks, babe. All right, Greg, now you ask. Give us some.
So, what's the main way that each of you show your love?
Ladies first.
I just went. I would say, I mean, obviously, like telling you, and then I think I like to do like little things. I don't know, like cook dinner or something like that. I don't know, like acts of love, I guess. Is that the right term?
Yeah, I think that no, you're right. It's because it's funny. It's like as when you get to a certain point in a relationship, you kind of, I don't know. I'm pretty affectionate, to be completely honest, and so I do that. You know what I mean? But you're right. Like actually doing something in the relationship, like helping cook dinner or helping our lives be easier together, whether it be, you know, about us staying at each other's house or cleaning up after each other or helping just things happen. It's sort of like, at least to me, it sort of helps like tell you or show you like, hey, I'm in this. Like, trust me, I wouldn't be doing all this work if I didn't like what was going on. You know, I'd probably be pretty fucking dismissive, to be completely honest. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably the right.
Yeah, it's like the little things like when you put the seat warmer in the car before I get in the car.
I do that, yes. She's a lot colder than I am all of the time.
Keeping me warm is my love language.
It is. I'm trying to think, is there anything in like particular that I've done recently that would be a good example? I don't know. It's kind of hard when you're just. I try to integrate it into our lives, so it makes it feel like
Like, it doesn't feel ingenuine that you're like trying too hard.
Dude, exactly. Because when you start being like, when you start like going way overboard, like if you're bringing home flowers every day, like in theory that's always really cute, or whatever you want to call it, but it's fucking weird, man. Wouldn't you be weirded out if I? Would you be weirded out if I brought home flowers like every single day?
I have a really hard time keeping plants alive, so yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you saying about us, Chase? Do you know that I'm gonna kill the plants?
Well, also, if you do stuff like that every day, it becomes like routine. So it's not like showing your love anymore. It's doing like a chore.
It's like expected or something.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's a whole
point.
different. That's a whole different.
It's true. No, I get that. Totally. All right. So, Greg, I know your parents pretty well. I've golfed with your dad lots. Love hanging out with Miss Judy, your mom. What do your parents have to say about your singleness? Do they do they bother you about it?
I mean, like, my mom would love for me to have a girlfriend. Like, she would love that. It'd be great. Because my mom gets along with everybody.
She does, man.
But my parents both were married before they married each other. And they married too young, and then they both got divorced to the people that they were married to, and then ended up marrying each other. And they married each other pretty late, and then ended up having me and my brother pretty late. So, like, age-wise. And so their advice to me is, like, if you're not ready, don't do it. You know what I mean? So even though my mom would like me to have one, like, that's just her wanting me to have somebody in a relationship. That she knows that she would probably get along with, but in all actuality, you know, with how my life is going and everything, she knows it's not the time to do it. And like, if I'm not into it right now, just don't do it, because something like what happened to them is going to happen to me, where I'm going to, you know, be with somebody that I don't necessarily want to be with. And then I find somebody that I do, and it makes everything much more complicated.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next question now.
Cool.
Greg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you one more.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna ask you one more. Do you feel like it's time? I know you sort of said it, but like, do you feel like it's time right now? Like, could you have a girlfriend, or are you seriously happy with where you're at?
I'm happy with where I'm at. The question, like, could I have a girlfriend? Like, yeah, I could, but it would probably be difficult.
Yeah.
It would probably be difficult just with like the way that my life is right now with work. And like, I'm not necessarily sure if I'm going to be staying in Vegas for like an extended amount of time.
That's a good point.
So yeah, so that's like one of the issues that I'd have to deal with. But I mean, like, I could. It's just like, I'm completely happy not having a relationship.
Totally.
Yeah.
More power to you.
Thanks.
All right.
So almost a follow-up to the last question I asked you guys, what makes you feel the most loved? So kind of the opposite, not what you do, but what they do that makes you feel the most loved.
I think like, this always comes from a place of genuineness. Like, if I'm stoked about something, and I know that Cherie feels equally as stoked, not because it's hard, because while I appreciate you're like, I'm not saying you, I just mean in general. Like, if you're stoked about something just because I'm stoked, that's cool and everything, but I want you to be stoked about the thing that I'm stoked about. Because you are like, I'm going to give you an example, because Cherie is stoked about this. We're both stoked about it. 311 is coming to town in July, and they're playing with Incubus, and that is a super sick concert. Like, that's
so
sick.
awesome.
And Cherie and I were both like, we're definitely gonna go. It's gonna be sick. And that was one of those moments where I was like, yes, that I have someone to like, I can go to these events with, and it can be, and it's just gonna be fun. You know what I mean? I get to bring my girlfriend, I get to bring family and friends, because I have, you, Greg, you love 311 and Incubus. My dad's favorite band is Incubus, so that's gonna be hilarious. So it's cool. Like when I feel like the most love when you and I are connecting on a topic that we are both psyched about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Star Wars and Marvel. We always see those as early as we can because we're both like, we're getting tickets this weekend. We're gonna go. Or a softball game. Go ahead, Cherie.
I think it just kind of goes back to the little, like, being thoughtful. She's like a really thoughtful person. So like something as small as turning the seat warmer on is, he's thinking of me. So that's nice.
I do think if I have to pick her up and the car's already on, I'll just turn the seat warmer on, like before I even get to the destination. So by the time she sits down, that ass is toasty. No, I feel that. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, Greg. Let's see. What are you gonna do on Valentine's Day? Are you gonna like treat yourself?
I'm probably gonna go to work.
I mean, like, besides that,
I don't know. I'll probably I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
That sounds really good. I wish you didn't say that. Now I want Buffalo Wild Wings. Cherie doesn't like Buffalo Wild Wings. Tell the story, Cherie. Why?
I don't not. Okay, well, every time I go there, it's just something goes wrong. I ordered the simplest thing on the menu. I got like chicken fingers, and it took
No sauce.
nothing on it, just plain chicken fingers, like a 5-year-old. And 30 minutes later, everyone else's food comes out, and I'm like, "Hey, where are my chicken fingers?" And she's like, "Oh, what? What chicken fingers?"
Fully had forgot that she just thought that Cherie came to the table and just with everybody and didn't want to order, and we were like, "Really?
Yeah.
Come on."
So 40 minutes later, I get my chicken fingers, and it's just something always goes wrong, but I won't not go there,
It's true. Although we went there for the Cherie and I went there to watch the A's lose in the wild card game
That was sad.
to the Rays, and that was sad. Fuck Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, next question.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
How important is physical chemistry to you in a relationship?
What does that mean?
Physical chemistry, like attraction, and when we kiss, it like feels
Like
tight.
I mean, I guess it's important because, like, if it's not, then what's the point?
Yeah, I kind of
Then
feel
it's just,
similarly.
like, meaningless.
Yeah, I don't really know why people try to say that. I'm surprised that there are people out there who have relationships where that isn't a thing, to be completely. I'm sure there are plenty of older people right now who are non-millennials who are laughing their fucking ass off at me right now, like, oh, we've been married for 30 years. You know what I mean? I'll tell you about physical chemistry. But, like, yeah, I mean, it's part of... Like I said, I'm affectionate, so it's kind of part of the deal. You know what I mean? If you don't like that, I would hope that you find someone that doesn't like that either, which sounds a little counterintuitive, but I don't know. So yeah, I think it's important to put a number on it, like at a percentage. It's like 50% of a relationship.
There you have it, folks.
The other 50 is like psychological
how well
chemistry.
You actually get together.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of what that word is. Mental chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, Greg, is it true that if you don't use it, that you lose it?
No. No, it's not true.
Okay, cool.
I know that if you don't use it, it shrinks.
Shut up. For real?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it can shrink. I can't remember exactly how much, but it can.
No shit.
So,
where'd you read that?
yeah.
Huffington Post?
I heard that on another podcast, I believe. They were talking about like blue balls and stuff like that. And
no way.
yeah,
That
if you don't
sucks.
if you don't actually use it, it could get smaller. So make sure you're using your weapon. And polish it.
What is the quote from? I have to look this up. The quote from Superbad, where he goes, "Having a gun is like having." I'm looking it up right now. What's it like to have a gun? And Officer Michael says, "Oh, come on, show me." It's awesome. I mean, I've only had mine for like a few months, but I'll tell you, it's like having two cocks. If one of your cocks could kill someone. So stupid. It's so inappropriate. Oh God.
All right. Well, next question for you guys.
I was gonna give you a real question.
Go ahead.
Are you on any dating sites like Hinge?
No.
Or-
I used to have like a Tinder. I got rid of my Tinder a long time ago. But yeah, no, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not actively looking for anything. Like if I meet a girl that like I instantly fall in love with, like great. But like,
Do you think it would? Do you think it would like happen like that? Just curious. You and I never talk about this, by the way, as friends. We just sort of like hang out and do dude stuff.
No, I mean, like it's possible to like meet somebody and then just like fall for them in a really short amount of time. That's like totally possible. That could happen. But like since I'm not actively looking, I'm not like really talking to anybody in that kind of like in that kind of sense. So like no, I'm not on any dating apps or anything like that.
Here's a follow-up question for both of y'all. And I won't get mad. It's open conversation. Okay. Have you guys ever been successful on any of these like dating apps? I'll admit I have like literally never. It has never been successful for me using Tinder or Bumble or. I've matched plenty, but like nothing ever comes from it. Mm-hmm. Greg, Cherie, any success? You both were at like large colleges.
I used Tinder for like one summer when I was living here kind of by myself and I just was bored. Mm-hmm. And so I think I don't know what it is, connected or matched or with one guy. And I think we would just like text and like we were kind of into each other, but we never like met face to face.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess no.
Greg?
Like my point would be like since we went to big universities, like we had. I mean, I went to ASU, so like we had parties to go to every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So like
SDS,
I'd much rather
went to SDSU, by the way, for those listening or watching.
And so I mean, I'd much rather go to a party and meet like a bunch of people in person, and then like be able to
vibe it out.
Because like you can tell a lot more from like an in-person meeting rather than like seeing somebody on a screen.
Totally.
And I feel like on Tinder, I mean, any of those things, when you match with somebody, you kind of have to somebody has to make the first move and like message the other person. And it's like, I'm not really gonna go out and message somebody else if I can just go to a party and like meet a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well,
like
that
doesn't seem like.
Seems like that would bite you in the ass if you decided to be like the one to make a move, right? Like, what if you were like,
sometimes,
fuck it, I'm gonna message this person and be like, let's meet up, and you meet up with that person and they don't look like their photo at all, or B, act like an absolute psycho. How bummed would you be about that?
Pretty bummed.
I'd be really bummed. It's like it's really a gamble. I feel like using like Tinder or anything
Not
like
the
that.
fun
It's kind
gamble.
of you're gambling on it because you're just seeing like their photos.
Right? Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Plus, I like having mutual connections. Like if I know them through someone, then I know they're like a decent human being. They're not like a psychopath.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's word of mouth still holds.
You can't trust anyone these days. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't trust people that are friends of people you trust sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Oh, that's funny. Okay, Greg. Yeah, I guess your turn. Go for it.
All right. How do you respond when your partner is really late to meet you?
Cherie, go ahead.
Well,
Obviously, Chase.
I'm never late.
Yeah, she's like never late.
Yeah, I'm just a very timely person. If I'm late to being early, it's a problem. Okay.
Literally, she'll be like at least 10 minutes early.
You know, I think I've just come to the the conclusion or the realization that Chase is gonna be late. Like, I just expect it now. I can tell him to come, like, give him a fake time, like 10 minutes early maybe, and he'll show up. But I know that
Come
he's
over
not.
at 5:50. I'll be like,
He'll be there at
5:50. I'll
8.
come over at 6. Then I'll be there at 6:15.
Yeah. He will never. He's just never gonna be on time.
I don't know why I suck so bad at being on time.
You just don't have a sense of urgency or anything.
I think I do have a sense of urgency. I just underestimate. Honestly, the thing I underestimate most is the moment I am done getting dressed and the shoes go on and I get in the car. That's supposed to take most people like 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And
He always says, "Oh, it's gonna take me like 10 minutes to get ready. 10 minutes are in the shower. Maybe 5 minutes are on the hair. Another 10 minutes are picking out an outfit and asking me what I think about it. And then maybe 30 minutes later, we're out the door." And that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, no, I've known Chase for a long time.
Yeah.
There's not one time
Greg
that he's
knows.
not ready in 10 minutes.
Greg knows. I'll admit it. It's true.
But at least you have that understanding now, right? So like it doesn't bother you that much anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't say it doesn't bother me.
But, like it bothers you.
But I know
like...
what to expect now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Cherie's never late. And if she is like behind on when I get there or something like that, I totally flip out.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I'm like, what the fuck, babe? Come on, like seriously, like you knew I was coming. And she'll be like, shut up. It's so dumb. I'm so unfair. I'm sorry, babe.
Whatever.
This one is a question to the room at large. Who has it worse, single women or single men?
What do you mean by has it, like...
I can tell you right
I would
now,
say it's
single
women.
men.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Single women can get into bars and stuff for free.
That's true.
And get free drinks. Do you know how many drinks I've been bought? Okay,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Cherie,
You're right.
how many
Okay.
drinks have you been bought in your life?
Surprisingly, maybe one.
Shut up.
I've had, like, boyfriends. Well, one who was very, like, overbearing,
Bearing.
and it was like, "Oh, you're talking to this guy? Like, why are you talking to this guy?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get a free drink."
That's a good,
Like,
that's a good point.
It's nothing against no one here. I'm just trying to, like,
No, I'd
save my money.
No, I would do the exact same thing if I were ever offered a free drink.
I think if I were single, it might be a different story. But, like, I can honestly say I can count on one hand.
I can count on 5 hands how many drinks. So the Freudian slip right there. So she's had at least 25 drinks paid
No.
for. I've had 1 drink paid for
Was
by
it
a
by me?
girl. No. It was, I think I was living in, it was when I was living in Austin and I was doing a photo shoot thing for Xylo, Chase Studies and Page Studies deal. And some girl after a show was like, "Hey, I really like your guys' band." And I was like, "Not my band, I'm just doing the photos." She's like, "Still, I think you guys are really rad. Here's a drink." I was like, and it wasn't even like I'm hitting on you. It was just like, "Nice. Here's a drink." You know what I mean? Like, thanks, dude.
I don't think I've ever been bought a drink unless it was like one of my friends that owed me from like a drink that I already bought them.
No, of course not.
And like I literally just had a conversation with my roommate the other day about getting into clubs and bars and stuff, because like we went to it was like a girls' night or ladies' night where we went to this bar where like the covers, like there was no covers for the girls, but the guys had to pay a cover, and then the girls got $2 drinks. And then the guys, like, my drinks were like $10 a piece. And so, like, literally just that one instance. And I'm like, yeah, think about going to, like, Old Town Scottsdale where you have to pay a cover at, like, a bunch of clubs. Or, like, you know, I mean, literally anywhere in Vegas where you have to, like, try to get in. Like, girls can get in no problem. Like, guys end up standing in a line for a half an hour.
And then end up not
having
even
to pay
getting in
$50
sometimes.
or something, you know. And, like, not even to mention at tables. Like, if you get bottle service and, like, you don't have a good grasp on who's at your table, like, girls are just going to be all at your table getting drinks and, like...
I haven't done the crashing. I leave it to my friends, but I get to enjoy the perks of being at a table.
Right.
To crash. She gets to enjoy the perks of her friends crashing. She just
And they
falls.
talk to the guys, and I just kind of sit there and drink, and it's great.
So you had
and have you
plenty
ever
of drinks
seen...
paid for.
I guess so, yeah.
And have you ever seen, like, girl bouncers at clubs?
No.
Because literally bouncers will get girls drinks at clubs all the time.
Really?
Like for free. Oh yes, all the time. Like depends what club you go to,
dude,
obviously.
I didn't even
but
see
like,
that's how much I'm missing out on.
like if they have
All
security
the
or
best
something,
shit.
and there's like a bunch of girls that just go and talk to a security guard, like they'll just go up and get them drinks from the bar, like no problem. Guys can't
Wow.
do that. That's for sure.
No, that's true. The flip side of that though is that single women deal with a lot more creepy dudes who are a lot more aggressive.
That's why I said women. But when it comes
Which-
to like going out and stuff, I guess it's men.
I mean, but I guess that's true because it's like
But
going out
is
is
still
there's
women
pros
because
and cons
there's gross.
for
there's
both.
obviously
Yeah.
pros and cons. I think if you were gonna like face value, you'd be like, dudes have it worse. But if you were to pull the veil back, I'm sure it would be single women have a much
I
more
would say women.
fucked up time.
Final answer. Women.
All right, so it's both.
Lock it in.
So it's both. Being single sucks. Greg, can you impart some wisdom for our viewers or followers or whomever
On just being single.
on just being single?
Yeah,
Be
don't
single
rush
and
it.
Happy.
Don't freaking worry about it. Like just worry about yourself. To be honest, like
Yeah.
it's not like like I said, like with my parents, like their story, like they rushed it and ended up both being not happy. And so like ultimately they've just told me my whole life, don't rush it, don't do anything that you're not positive that you want to do.
So true.
And you know, don't be afraid to do it, but don't push yourself in a direction that like if you're not ready for it, just don't do it. You know, there's no point.
I dig that.
What are your guys' wisdom for people in relationships or trying to get into one?
It's a good question. The more uptight you feel, like it's cool if you feel uptight and like worried when you're talking to a girl or whatever, or you're really trying to put yourself out there because it's obviously not easy. And it's really easy for me to sit here and say, just be yourself, and the best version of you will come forward. And if they like it, then great. If they don't, then you shouldn't try to force it. And I hate to be that guy, but it's like really true advice, you know? I definitely wasn't talking to Cherie thinking I was trying to like get at her, you know what I mean? We were just having a grand old time. That's like literally all we were doing.
Yeah.
I think we were just dancing, having a few drinks.
Something, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember we were dancing. There was karaoke. Yeah, it was
And
great.
then woke
There's
up in a
video
relationship.
evidence that there were, there's video evidence that there was dancing.
There was
And
video
then
evidence of
it
dancing
just kind
and
of
singing.
went from there. And I never felt like I had to like try or like,
Yeah.
it was just kind of really easy.
It felt like we just sort of worked into a swing of things pretty quickly, which was nice. Because when it starts, you can feel when the other person is like, this is taking away from me, you know? Because it makes you like, oh, okay, fuck. Or if you're a weirdo, it makes you be like, no, we're together, it's fine, everything's fine. And you like grab hold harder, and you're like, don't do that, you guys.
Yeah.
Let your girlfriend or boyfriend be their own person, and together you create an awesome duo. You know what I mean? And the same thing goes for yourself. Cherie, I want to close this with, give us your favorite story about me. You gotta give me give the viewers what it's like to have to date this fucking guy.
Well, it's really smelly.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for fucking sure. Oh my god.
Yeah. True.
I don't know. There's
Cherie hates talking about bodily functions, and it's my fucking favorite, dude. It's so funny.
it's
We're
so
on
not.
camera right now, and I can feel her getting sweaty right now because I just brought up the words bodily functions.
Well, no one wants to talk
She'll get
about
up to go to the bath. She does this thing. I do this thing where when she gets up to go to the bathroom, I'll like look at her and be like, "You have to poop."
Most of the times it's no.
Most of the time, see? Every now and then I'm right. And then there are people who like will ask me, "Where'd Cherie go?" And I'll be like, "She's just pooping." And way down in the bathroom, I am not pooping. God damn it.
Yeah, so
Those are good times. Greg, what's your favorite story about me being in a relationship? Any?
About you being in a relationship?
Yeah, you've been around me tons when I've been in relationships.
My favorite story, because it's probably the first one that comes to mind, is that when we were in a band in high school, you would always hop in my car after school and we would go to Taco Bell, and then we would go to our drummer's house, Troy. And you're at a really bad time in your relationship. And
Yes.
You ended up breaking up with your girlfriend over the phone in my car in the passenger seat while I was driving to fucking Troy's house.
At least you had Taco Bell.
And yeah, I don't even know if we got Taco Bell that day. I can't even remember.
All I remember, I think we were playing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting the call right now." And I answered the phone, and I walked outside, and I sat in your car, and then
we were all in your car when you were having like the conversation with her. And,
yes. Okay, now I'm
Then we ended up walking into Troy's house and then like trying to do band practice and like it was just a really interesting car ride to band practice that day.
Yeah, and I kind of remember being like pretty much relieved that it hadn't been done.
You were, yeah, because like at the end you were just like, whatever, like let's just play some music.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
we ended up doing that and kind of like trying to forget about it. But like I don't know, that was just a really weird situation.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah.
I have a chase story now.
Oh, Cherie has a chase story.
I think this is like what perfectly describes what dating chase is like. Is we were sitting at In-N-Out and we were just enjoying our burgers, and I was saying something, telling a story, and then and he's like, yeah, and then we're in the car on the way home, and he was like, so while we were sitting there, I came up with a stand-up bit. I wasn't listening. He wasn't listening to anything I was saying. He came up with a whole ass stand-up bit while we were sitting at In-N-Out, and I was just blabbing my mouth at it.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't know when the funny ideas are gonna strike. It's true, though.
When do you find creativity? When you're zoning out your girlfriend?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, put that in last episode. Yeah. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I haven't even used that bit yet, which is annoying.
So it was worthless.
I can't use that bit yet. I need it to be elongated. It's too short right now. But yeah.
Well, we'll go back to In-N-Out.
Greg, I don't really have any funny stories about you, per se. You're always pretty chill around girlfriends.
Yeah, like relationship stories. I've had some interesting relationships, but they've been pretty normal.
I've had some interesting relationships, but they've been pretty normal, is what you just said.
Yeah, kind of normal.
And on that note, I say we end this. If you guys need to talk to your friends or whatever, don't feel awkward about your relationships, because we all need some genuine help in seeking advice from your parents, from your friends. Make sure you're understanding who you're getting that advice from. Of course, relationships are the very fabric of our lives, you know what I mean? So, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. And if you're ever in an argument, take a deep breath. It's really the best I got. Anyway, that's life. Cherie, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we can have you back on in the future. We probably will, for other fun stuff. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, doing whatever it is on whatever website that you're on. And we'll see you on the next episode. Toodles.
Peace.